Hi everyone, this is Rodrigo de Oliveira. I'm a computer scientist and former global head of research at Google.
Hey folks, Karen Church here, VP of Research and Data Science at Intercom. Used to work with Rodrigo in a former life when we lived in Barcelona.
That was really cool. And the best of it is that we just learned that we're going to be reviewing a paper for you guys. What's up with WhatsApp? 10 years ago, this 10-year award, we're so thankful to MobileHCI 2023.
Yeah, amazing news and a great opportunity for Rodrigo and I to touch base after a very, very long time.
How did this paper really come up?
I think there was two things, wasn't there? One was that the whole WhatsApp phenomenon was really kind of taken off. I remember we had a very cool paper title before we even had the research plan, What's Up with WhatsApp. And then, working for Telefonica in the kind of telecommunication space, I think we had this unique opportunity, didn't we, to really understand, mobile behavior at large, mobile messaging at large, SMS behaviors at large. So it's kind of like the stars were aligned.
If we were to go back to the paper, maybe the main claim right in the beginning is that WhatsApp offers benefits such as cost, sense of community, immediacy, why SMS is still considered to be more reliable and privacy preserved. That's 10 years ago. Can we just jump on the cost aspect?
I think they're both as cheap as one another. At least, I'm not sure what it's like in the US. When I lived there, I think it was the same as in Europe. You kind of get SMS as part of plans.
I was also leaning towards exactly what you said, and it does hold. The text message is free, but when I start roaming, and if by mistake I just start browsing something, right? I will pay for that data, especially for kids. When parents give them phones, if you turn the roaming on, they're not just going to send the text message. They're going to be watching YouTube. They're going to be watching a bunch of stuff. So then when the bill comes, it's crazy. So it doesn't matter if the text message is given for free. There's a lot of other things that are costly, and you have to turn that on.
I'd say roughly holds probably cost a little bit more on par than they were 10 years ago when we created the paper. Totally agree on the roaming thing.
Okay, so moving forward to item number 2, social influence, community sense of connection. Friends and family use WhatsApp. This social connection also becomes a little bit of social pressure. Does that still hold?
I think so. I don't know how many friends and family chat groups I have. I think it's the primary way in which I communicate with friends and family all over the world. The things that were considered maybe formal 10 years ago are probably less formal now. So parents groups and school groups and so that's all over WhatsApp now and not at all over SMS. So maybe it's got the parts that were deemed formal in SMS seem to have maybe ported over to WhatsApp, at least in part.
Yeah. Just the other day, parents just try to get phones from all the other parents so then they can be on top of what's going on with the kids, what they should be doing at school, what is the homework, so on, so on, so on. First thing is, I'm going to send this through WhatsApp. I'm like, okay, everybody is really forced to have it. Otherwise, you lose that connection. There's some elements of services that are created in these past 10 years that keep leveraging the social aspect but goes beyond that, like transferring money between friends and family using text messenger. We saw that with Facebook and others. So there's those elements as well. Number 3, we're going to 4, okay? So we're going to be wrapping up this soon. So number 3, nature, intent.
This is the more natural conversation, wasn't it?
More natural conversation. You type something, I type something. We're never thinking back 10 years ago. You had to think that you have 120 characters to type. Otherwise, you have to pay more because, it became a second bubble. Now I have to pay more. So people are really conscious about it, especially in third world economies when you're always looking for a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'd say probably this is one that's hold and expanding. Like audio, for example, is something that I use heavily in WhatsApp to converse with friends, especially friends who are still living in Barcelona. We leave each other little audio notes most days. I don't know that was something that was referenced, but the reason for that is because it allows us to speak a little bit freely, share what's going on for me and my world, and then my friend will do the exact kind of same. So I really feel like that's not something that I can do or have done with SMS, or wouldn't naturally think about SMS as a way to do that.
Certainly became something even more natural. So the principle holds, even expands beyond the human-to-human communication. I think that's all that I would add in there. I feel like there's elements of human-to-machine that we didn't have back then. I myself have to deal with airline bots and hotel bots in WhatsApp. Nowadays, even with this AI boom, we're seeing also human to machine services such as using WhatsApp with ChatGPT. I even saw things relate to home automation, You leave your home and then you get a text message on your WhatsApp say, okay, you forgot your lights on.
I think part of the reason why that has happened is because businesses have kind of like clocked or copped onto the fact that WhatsApp is where people are. And so if they want to engage on a daily basis in a natural way, most businesses really want to try and interact at a personal level. It's certainly in the company I work in, that's what we're trying to do, bring some level of personal interaction to online interactions between businesses and consumers. And so, yeah, I think it's the fact that like businesses have realized WhatsApp is kind of where it's at. It's where the people are at. And so we need to bring our interactions and our engagements over there as well. So I think that could be something to do with the human to machine piece.
Which leads to the fourth part, right? WhatsApp is immediate, good, but invades my privacy and is not reliable. Remember the 2 ticks and the online
2 ticks used to cause problems in a lot of relationships and still does in my house.
Oh my God,
I
10 years later.
I think that, the thing was, nothing was encrypted, I think, at the time that we wrote the paper, I think. There was by default, you were shown as online, so folks could see when you were last online, when you could last access WhatsApp. And then you had the 2 tick phenomenon where that people that your message has been delivered to their phone and they have read it and they are intentionally choosing to ignore you. So I think they've added a bunch of customization there. So like they've added privacy settings, haven't they? You can hide your visibility. You can decide if and when people see you or were online and when you last accessing. So I think they've upped their game there. The 2 blue ticks thing I think is still a thing though.
When it comes to immediacy, with this AI boom, there's a lot of that goes into here, such as features such as Smart Reply came after it, Smart Compose. So you're getting a text message, maybe if you're in support, and you're getting options for you to reply without having to type. Studies your knowledge base, learns from it, presents the options. Or you start typing, then you have the Smart Compose start like auto-filling it for you. It seems like the industry has kept bringing their game up when it comes to immediacy and helping you spend less time on constructing and struggling with the device and more time enjoying the interaction.
So I think a lot of them still hold. It'd be really fascinating to hear about or see, has anyone from the MobileHCI community delved in and unpacked any of this any further over the last few years, or what other things people might plan over the next kind of few years, especially given some of the things you've just mentioned there around ChatGPT and smart assistants and bots and so forth.
Hopefully we provided something that had any use for the community to keep progressing, expanding, researching in this avenue. I think it's a very interesting line of research.
Will we wrap up there and say a massive thank you to the MobileHCI community for this 10-year Impact Award. We really, really appreciate it. We had a massive amount of fun doing the research all those years ago. Also, we haven't connected in a few years, so it's been a really good excuse for us both to kind of connect and hear about each other's lives a bit. So
thank you, MobileHCI 2023. I was missing my friend. She traveled to the other side of the world, and it's so good to connect again. Thank you for the whole community. I really enjoyed all the time with my MobileHCI fellows. Those were really, really great years, and I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you so much. Here comes a big hug from my side.
Take care.